People have always believed that heroes emerge from times of chaos, and our story begins right when one of the greatest Chinese dynasties was established. We, the new adventurers, bloom as this dynasty rises, while the nameless heroes before us have already been buried by the tides of history. Even though hope is returning, shadows of the previous turmoil still linger on the very land we stand. The stories we uncover from the game are voices of different people. They embody the countless stories of people from all walks of life. Hi everyone, Evie here. Welcome to one of the first videos on my new channel. Let's add a bit of background information first. Throughout Chinese history, many imperial dynasties ruled the land. A dynasty is usually defined by its royal family. Usually, when a new family takes power, the dynasty changes its name. A lot of Chinese historical records focus on whichever power controls the Central Plains, also known as Zhongyuan, the heartland of China. China has many ethnic groups, but the majority is Han, so many stories you hear are told from the Han perspective, or from those ruling the Central Plains. Werewolves Meet's original Chinese title is Yun Shi Liu Sheng. The first four characters along with another character form Yun Shi Liu Zhou, referring to the 16 prefectures of Yan and Yun, a very important area in Chinese history. It was both an agricultural region and a key military stronghold. With the Great Wall and its dangerous natural defenses, it became a place most empires near modern-day China wanted to control. The common people in this region, as a consequence, suffered heavily from war and misery. The story of Werewolves Meet starts around the year 962, right at the beginning of the famous Song dynasty, and immediately after the chaotic 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms period. Imagine this. Within only 53 years, 5 dynasties rose and fell over the Central Plains, while 10 separate kingdoms formed around them for about 72 years. Just hearing that, you can already tell how unstable and dramatic this era must have been. I love to share more bite-sized stories of Chinese history or any traces of history I find in this game in future videos, so stay tuned. Now, let's talk about the last 3 characters, 16 声, 16 sounds. You probably noticed the overlap, 16 prefectures and 16 sounds. So what does sound or 声 mean here? According to the developers in an interview, and we quote, the name Yun Shi Liu Sheng was inspired by a book called Lü Zhun from the later Zhou dynasty, written by the official Wang Pu. He categorized music into 12 main sounds and 4 softer, voiceless, clear tones, making 16 in total. We use these 16 sounds to represent the voices of the people and the sound of history close to our hearts. End quote. As I was doing my research, though, I couldn't find concrete historical record confirming this exact classification, so I'm trying to get related books from China to dig deeper myself. But for this video, what matters is the intention behind the title. The 16 sounds symbolize the voices of ordinary people, those living through an era of chaos, fear, and resilience. These sounds include the soft voices too, people who may not have power on their own, but together become a force that can change history. You can also find traces of this in the compendium in our game, with each category representing one of these sounds. Now, the story of Werewolves Meet uses names of historical characters, some locations, and some timelines, but the story is heavily adapted for the game's narrative. Still, as the developer said, and from what we have experienced in the game, it is clear that Werewolves Meet is letting people throughout Chinese history voice their stories. The time period and setting are a lens for us to feel the emotions they once carried, the pain of war, the longing for peace, and the refusal to give up. Throughout history, the darkest times have often brought us the brightest heroes. Sometimes they don't even look like heroes, but their unwillingness to bend, their perseverance, and the difficult path they take. even for ordinary people just trying to survive, are what make their stories worth telling. Where Wins Me often tells its tale through the perspectives of these common people. And that is the meaning and background behind the Chinese title, Yun Shi Liu Sheng. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!